Hello, my darlings. Are you guys ready to do the rock identification lab? This lab is going to totally rock. See what I did there? I love it. No, but seriously, I think you're going to like this lab. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be very similar to how we did the mineral lab, but just slightly different. And I'll explain that. So, this video here is going to first talk about the instructions on how to do the lab and how you're going to approach each rock sample. And then the other videos, I'm going to walk you through doing the actual lab and help you identify the rocks. So let's talk about what are our goals for this lab. So what are our objectives? Two things. One is we're going to observe physical characteristics of rocks. So just like in the mineral lab where we use the really powerful skill, that skill of observation, that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to make some really great observations. And then based off of those observations, we're going to classify the rocks based off of those physical characteristics. So it's going to be very similar to the mineral lab in that. Now it's going to be a little bit harder, at least I think it's a little bit harder to identify rocks than minerals. But that's okay because I'm here with you. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You got this. You can totally do this. So let's talk about what you need. All right, so two documents that you're going to need. You're going to need to download a lab rock ID sheet. This is where you're actually going to fill in and write down your observations and your results. And so what it looks like is it looks like this. So when you download it, it's going to look like this. It has the instructions and it has, here's your data table. And so you have samples 1 through 10 and it has room for a pattern and then the type of rock that you tell it is, physical features that you're going to put in, and then the actual name of the rock once you figure out what it is. The second document that you're going to download is the rock identification key and table. This is what you're going to use to identify your samples. And so that one looks like, I'm just going to actually pull it up. That one looks like, let me pull this up here. This is the document. So this is your rock identification key at the top. And then below has a table for igneous rocks, a table for sedimentary rocks, and then a table for metamorphic rock. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to approach this and what you're going to do with this information. So that's this one here. I'm flipping back and forth a lot. Okay, so the directions. You're going to do one rock sample at a time. And so you're going to take that rock sample, you're going to examine it carefully. I'm just going to grab one here. So you're going to take the rock sample and you're going to examine it carefully and you're going to use the rock identification key to first determine whether the rock is igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary. So you're going to first find out, well, what type of rock is it? And then you're going to use that classification table below according to whatever type it is, to actually figure out what rock is it actually. And so once you do that, then you're going to repeat steps 1 through 3 for all of them. And we're going to do the first 5 together. So by the end of the 5th one, you're going to be like, oh, I got this. I can totally do this. And then you're going to do samples 6 through 10 on your own. It's going to be fun. So let's kind of talk about a little bit more about how to approach it. So I'm going to pull up the actual document here. Lots of flipping back and forth. Okay, so you're going to take this rock and you're going to use the rock identification key at the top. That's this part right here. I'm going to just move this over here. All right, so you're going to use this. This is what we call a dichotomous key. And so what you basically do is you're going to start at question number 1. You're always going to start with question number 1 with every sample. Go back to 1. So you're going to start with question 1, and you see that every group of questions has 2 choices. So this is very similar to those Choose Your Own Adventure books that I always talk about that I love, where it's, hey, you come here and there's a door. Do you go in? If you go in, turn to page 5. If you don't go in, then turn to page 3, whatever it is, right? Like, so it's kind of like the same thing. And so you take this right here and you ask yourself, okay, is the rock made up of minerals that you can see, or is the rock made up of minerals that you cannot see? If you can see them, then you're going to go straight to question 2A. So you're going to go question 2. But if you cannot see them, you're going to go to 5A. So you're going to go straight down here. So if it says go to 5A, you go straight to 5A. You are not going to worry about 2, 3, and 4. Ignore them. Just like if the Choose Your Own Adventure book, if it says go to page 57, you're not going to read pages, whatever, like 10 through 57. You skip it and you just go straight ahead. That's the same thing here. So let's say here it says if the rock is made up of minerals you can't see, go to 5A. So I go to 5A here. So I'm like here. Okay, now I got a next question. Is the rock glassy or frothy? It has small holes in it? If it is, then that's an igneous rock. But if it's not, and it says if the rock is made up of strong flat sheets that look as though they would split off into slate-like pieces, then that would be metamorphic rock. And so now using this question number 5, now you've already identified, well, is it igneous or is it metamorphic? And so from that, you're like, okay, I know, let's say it's metamorphic. So, okay, I know it's metamorphic. So now you're going to go to that second, so that, well, the step 3 right here where it says use the correct classification table. And so that is where, which classification table do I need? Do I need igneous rock? No, because I already just said it was metamorphic, right? So I skip igneous rock because I know it can't be any of these. Okay, I'm going to go skip sedimentary rock because I know that it can't be any of these guys. And so now I'm going to go straight to metamorphic rock. Okay, and now like, okay, well my sample could be either slate, schist, gneiss, quartzite, or marble. So I have 5 choices here. So now I have to use more observations and to find out, well, which one of it is it? And so I kind of work my way through, and I just start with the first question. And I say, okay, well, is it layered? So if it's layered, if I look at the sample and I say, well, it's layered, well, then now I've eliminated these 2. So then that means, well, it can't be quartzite and it can't be marble. So now you're down to these 3. And then I go to the next options here, and I'm like, okay, well, which one is my next best question to ask? Do I have medium-sized grains? If I did, then it would be these 2 options, or fine grains, it would be this one. Well, that's a good question to ask then. Is it medium or fine? If it's fine, well, then that means I've already identified it as slate because it's the only other option. But if it's medium grained, oh, that I still have 2, so that means I have to go and figure out, okay, what's the next question? Oh, well, it seems like, well, this next one breaks into layers. Only one of them breaks into layers. So then I would use that as my next question. So I think that I hope that makes sense. So you just kind of work your way through here, and you just kind of use it as like it's a mystery, and so you get to kind of figure out what it is based on all these really cool observations that you're making. And so that's kind of how you're going to approach each one. You're going to do it for all 10 of them. Like I said, I'm going to walk you through the next 10 in the next videos. So if you're good here and you're like, okay, I think I can do this, then go ahead and go straight to the next videos and start the lab. If you're not, then there's other options. I can give you some simpler dichotomous keys to kind of help you practice those dichotomous key skills, and then or just email me and we can chat and I can help you through that. So all right, so have fun, enjoy, go to the next video. Okay, so again, always remember to be good, be kind, be awesome, and recycle. All right.